The day's top billing went to the Bridgestone production car racers, who, apart from a close 2006 title conclusion, boasted a brand new team leader in veteran Peter Lindenberg and his Subaru.
I was talking to a couple of people about what to do for the new year, and there were a few ideas about production cars, and none of them were like kind of what I felt was the right thing. And then I thought about maybe putting a team together myself and see what we can do. And in doing all the homework, I looked and I thought, well, the Subaru looks like it's likely to be a competitive motor car. So I went to see Subaru, and they've given us a bit of help in procuring the cars, and we've got other sponsors on board, and hopefully we can do a job.
With the Bridgestone Production Car Championship arguably South Africa's most competitive form of circuit racing, adapting a new car to the task presents a steep learning curve. Aware of that fact, the vastly experienced Lindenberg was content to treat this race meeting as a testing session, with an extensive development program awaiting the all-wheel drive turbocharged car in the coming months. Also new was the presence of regular Audi racer Johan Fourie in the BMW pit.
After the accident we had in Cape Town on the first day practice, it's a bit disappointing for us, but luckily Van Linden Racing BMW asked me to join them for the last round at Kyalami to see if we can help Anthony to secure the championship, or to take some points away from Leroy to get Anthony to get that 5.6 point margin ahead of Leroy to make him win the championship. So I said yes, I'll be willing to do that, and then we just hopefully have to be strong in qualifying to make sure we can do that.
Nissan's Leroy Poulter was confident.
Yeah, no, really fantastic. I mean, they had their engine out and back in the car and ready for qualifying within an hour. So I think all that's off to them. And the engine was good. I mean, it got us to 2 pole positions yesterday. And I think in the long run takes a bit of pressure off us for the race.
Audi's onslaught would be led by the Sonax entry of privateer Melville Priest.
It's good for us, you know. It's nice to be the top Audi. We've just got a bit of work from 5th of the grid. We hope to finish about 3rd. But we'll see. The first race is a short race. It won't suit our car. But the second race, being the second race, 15 laps, our tyres should last a bit longer than everybody else. So we should come into our own in the second race.
After Friday's official qualifying sessions, overall championship contenders Leroy Poulter and Anthony Taylor shared the front row of the grid for Saturday's opening race, with the drivers of Nissan and BMW separated by a mere 0.2 of a second on the timesheets. Castrol Mini Cooper S drivers Garth Verbirski and Clint Weston headed for the Class T order, while Dave Compton in his Sassel Toyota Runex RSI and Trevor Tuck in his Motorsport Infinity Fiat Palio would start first in the respective Class B and C categories.
Race 1 and 5 laps of action about to start down towards turn number 1, and looks like Leroy Poulter's got a great start off the line there. He was on pole position, and looks as if Heinz Bozé is coming through there in Class T. And Class B looks like it's been taken by DeSantis as they go down towards turn number 1. It's 2 BMWs and an Audi, and a little Nissan thrown in there as well. Leroy Poulter looking very, very tight stuff through here, through turn 1, heading up towards turn number 2 and 3 now. This was commonly known as Nashua. New sponsors on board there as we see Fourie, as we're on board now with the Sonax Audi of Melville Priest. Heading into turn 3 now, onto the back straight they go. It's 2 BMWs. Johan Fourie's been brought in to assist Anthony Taylor. Is he going to be able to do it as they come through Goodyear for the first time? Leroy Poulter on the outside. He's going to have to hang on to that line to try and stay there with Anthony Taylor. Taylor around the inside. Well, nice bit of driving there from Taylor, and he gets the lead. So, for the first time in this race, we have a BMW leading. The Nissan got the whole shot down towards turn number 1. He's already putting pressure back onto Taylor as they come through Goodyear Bend. Now heading towards the S's, and a problem here for Robert Volk. He spins out. The rest of the field should be able to get past him quite easily. He's not in a dangerous position there, although he'll want to get back onto the circuit as quickly as possible. You can see some of the Class C contenders coming through there, and it looks like Trevor Tuck has actually got the whole shot there. Oh, some more problems here. That's DeLon Williams in the Rob Green Motorsport Peugeot going flying down the left-hand side there of the S. And it looks like Craig Nicholson's also had some problems there in the Webco Mercedes-Benz. Nicholson now parked in there, and he's just digging that Mercedes-Benz into the dirt. That's not the way to do it. Reversing out now. Hopefully he'll be able to get back out onto the circuit. Oh, he's got stuck in there. That's a big problem now. That might be a car that's in a very, very dubious position. Oh, problems here. DeLon Williams doesn't seem to be too happy with Craig Nicholson. He's come across to tell him exactly what he thought about that maneuver. Well, let's get back to the race up front. It's BMW in the front. Anthony Taylor leads. Then it's Leroy Poulter. We can see his teammate Etienne van der Linde starting to make his way through the field. We go on board with Gary Formato in the third of those Sassel Nissans. And he, of course, is sitting in second place in terms of the Nissans at this point in time. And putting pressure onto Melville Priest. Down towards the final turn they go through Bungie. You can see just ahead there, looking to go up the inside of Melville Priest. Oh, there's a problem there. Johan Foury's gone wide, and he has parked it on the side of the circuit. Johan Foury is out of this race, and it doesn't look like BMW's little tactic to bring in Foury as a third driver is going to be paying off for them, especially in this first heat. Here we are on board with Foury, parking it here in Vodacom corner. And that's a big, big pity for that team. They brought this man on board to assist Anthony Taylor and try and keep the Nissans out of his way. But, of course, he's got a Nissan right on his tail, and that is the championship leader, Leroy Poulter, and the man he needs to beat here in both heats. Third place, Sean Watson-Smith. Then it's Richard Ritz. Then we got Melville Priest, Gary Formato, Etienne van der Linde, and there's Peter Lindenberg in that Subaru. Then we've got Heinz Bozé leading, Weberski, Eckhard Schoenknecht in third place in Class T. We go back on board with Melville Priest in the Sonex VMR Audi, heading up towards the top of the hill and into Westbank corner. Looks like it might have been a little bit of a touch there between Roots. Yes, he does say sorry, but I think there's a problem. Everybody seems to be slowing down. Yes, the safety car is out on the circuit, and that's either because of Craig Nicholson's car or Johan Foury's car being in a dubious position. Here we see the effects of that touch between Roots and Melville Priest. The front left-hand tyre completely punctured and a little bit of damage on the front of the car as well. Back to racing action. We're under racing once again, and the green flags are out. And it looks as if it's going to be a sprint to the line with only one lap to go in this race. Peter Lindenberg there just at the back. He's just got ahead of Robert Volk. Heinz Bozé still leading the Class T battle. Here comes Eckhard Schoenknecht. The GTI is starting to dominate here in Class T. The Minis are not having it all their own way, but Western battling hard to keep that Castrol Mini of his ahead of the Caltex Haviline car. We go back to Class C. It's still Trevor Tuck in front. You can see some of the Class A contenders starting to make their way back through the field. That's Melville Priest, who had to go into the pits to change his tyre. We go on board now with Donnie van Niekerk trying to close down the man in the Fiat ahead of him. That's Trevor Tuck. He's got a lot of work to do in this Murray and Roberts Ford Icon. There's a big gap between the Fiat and the Ford. Is he going to be able to catch him in this final lap? We're going to have to wait and see as they come down towards Goodyear. Just behind him is Mark Silverwood. Here comes that Sonex Audi of Melville Priest. Then it's John Kruger. Kruger pushing hard in that little Ford Fiesta, but he's a little bit off the pace compared to what we normally see. But this is the battle we want to see. This is for the overall championship title between the man who leads at the moment, Anthony Taylor, and the man in second place who leads the championship overall at the moment, that's Leroy Poulter. Problems there from De Cunha, putting pressure onto Etienne van der Linde. This is the final stages of the race. They're coming into the kink for the last time. And van der Linde just hangs on to the inside line there and keeps De Cunha at bay in the Tubular Tech Nissan. Through Vodacom for the final time. It's going to be Anthony Taylor who's going to hang on. Is De Cunha going to get past van der Linde? No, he's going to hang on to that as well. Although he's going to try something up the inside. The checkered flag is out. Taylor takes the first heat ahead of Poulter and Sean Watson-Smith in third.
Taylor's BMW victory narrowed the points gap between himself and Nissan's Leroy Poulter, while Heinz Bozé scored a surprise Class T win in his Vendator Volkswagen Golf GTI. Rookie Donnie van Niekerk took his Ford Icon to the Class C honours after literally passing the Fiat Palio of champion Trevor Tuck in the final 10 metres of the race. And Class B produced another surprise when Dario Dos Santos in his Fiat Stilo Arbach finished ahead of champion Dave Compton's previously unbeaten Sassel Toyota Runex RSI. As Anthony Taylor celebrated, we asked third-placed man Sean Watson-Smith about his view of the title fight from the best seat in the house.
It was pretty awesome, I must say. It was actually quite funny because I was joking with both Anthony and Leroy before the race. I said, I'm sorry I'm so far back because I'd actually like to watch the championship battle. It's so exciting, but I didn't think I'd get right up there. And after half around the first lap, I thought, cool, I'm actually right here. I can have a bird's eye view. But yeah, got off the line really well and then passed a couple of guys around the outside of the first corner and they were sleeping a little bit. Another couple at Nashua and yeah, I was right behind the leaders. So chaotic stuff with the first couple of starts. But the third one was my best, so now I'm very happy. Happy for the team as well.
It's the final round of Car Wars and they're about to head down towards turn number one. It's going to be Poulter who gets the whole shot once again and leads into turn one. A little bit further back, it looks like Weston's got the whole shot in Class T, but he's got Bozé and Eckhard Schoenknecht right on his tail. The rest of the Class A field streaming through here. Touch there between Michael Steven and Marco De Cunha. As they head up now, as we go on board with Melville Priest into turn number 3, onto the back straight. Priest taking a little bit of a wider line, always being forced wide actually there by Stephen Morris. Not going to be happy about that situation. There you go, a little gesticulation there to Morris. But of course Morris is in the thick of it at the moment, and there goes Rachad Roots past him as well in the Bosel 350Z. Heading down towards Goodyear turn now for the first time. Looking on the offensive there is the Sassel AE Nissan of Leroy Poulter. He's got Johan Fourie all over the back of him. Fourie should be backing off slightly to allow Taylor through. That's what he's been brought in to do, but of course maybe just putting a bit of extra pressure onto Poulter in the first part of this race, and there, a little bit of a nudge on him as well. Well, he's saying get a move on there, Leroy. You need to get a little bit quicker than that as we go up towards Westbank. Maybe Leroy hanging back slightly there. You can see that Anthony Taylor's under pressure from his teammate as well. So it's the battle of the Nissans and the BMWs as they go into Westbank. Little touch there from Fourie on Poulter. He's not going to be happy about that. You can see a little bit of debris on the car coming off there. But a little touch between Poulter and Fourie as they go down the mine shaft now. Fourie still behind that Sassel AE Nissan. Anthony Taylor right on their tail, looking for a way past. Let's see how late he is on the brakes. He's going to go up the inside of Fourie this time. Is he? Well, it's side-by-side stuff, and it looks like he's got through. Or has he? No, he hasn't. Johan Fourie comes straight back at him. Down towards the kink they go now. Castrol BMWs either side of that Sassel AE Nissan of Leroy Poulter. Into the kink they go, line astern, no change there. Gary Fermata looking for a way past Taylor to try and help his teammate out. He can't find one at the moment. Rachad Roots hanging on to the back of the field and keeping the rest of the field at bay to allow the battle that we wanted to see all year to rage on for this final round. Across the line they come to complete another lap. And it's Leroy Poulter who leads, Johan Fourie right on his tail, and Anthony Taylor, the man who has to win this race to try and keep himself in contention for this championship. Well, he's in third place, and that's not where he needs to be. Fourie might have to just tap off on a line through as we go back to Class C. It's a fantastic battle, as per usual, between the Ford icons. The Ford Fiesta there of John Kruger and Trevor Tuck in the Fiat. At this point in time, it looks like it's Mark Silverwood who leads. He's just behind Dario De Santos there, who's replaced his brother due to an injured shoulder. And this is the battle for Class B. Actually, look at that. That's Robbie Beninka right up there as well. So Beninka doing a great job in his car and the City Golf. Back to the front of the field in Class A. Still no change there. A Nissan sandwiching 2 BMWs. And then it's the 350Z Bosel car of Rachad Roots. Then we got Stephen Morris on his tail. On board with Anthony Taylor, Castrol BMW. Right on the tail of his teammate who's supposed to be helping him out, and I'm sure that at one point in this race he's going to have to maneuver out of the way to allow Anthony Taylor to get through and get on with the battle that is supposed to be raging between himself and Leroy Poulter. Across the line to complete another lap. It's going to be tight stuff here. Oh, looks like one of the cars is under caution there. We can see the clerk of the course putting out the black and white flag to warn somebody that they're in a little bit of trouble. Maybe some ungentlemanly-like driving out on the circuit. The car in question is number 22, Gary Fermata, so he's going to have to watch himself now. We can see Anthony Taylor's got ahead of Johan Fourie now. We're on board with Fourie as they go into turn 3. Anthony Taylor now has to try and catch the man in A23, the Sassel AE Nissan 350Z of Leroy Poulter. It's the only way he can win this championship, and Leroy Poulter has to have something go wrong. Here comes Beninka, absolutely flying in Class C. That's the gap he's got over the 2 Ford icons of Silverwood and Donnie van Niekerk. And then there's a little bit of a gap back to Trevor Tuck in 4th place. They're heading up towards turn number 3 now. We go on board with Donnie van Niekerk. He's chasing down Mark Silverwood there in the Class C Ford Icon. The 2 Murray and Roberts Icons have been very, very quick, and all the circuits that we've been to with the Bridgestone Super Production cars. Down the back straight, heading towards Goodyear now. You can see how closely matched these 2 cars are, and he's checking in his rearview mirror to see what's happening with Trevor Tuck. Trevor Tuck has already taken this championship, so all he needs to do is just try and finish up as high as he can, and he will be a happy man at the end of this day. A little bit further back there, we can see Fani van Zyl, but here's the battle we want to see, and it looks like Taylor's going to try something up the inside. He's got him. Anthony Taylor goes up the inside, but Poulter comes straight back at him, and they're side by side down the back straight. Taylor hanging on for dear life. He's only just got a nose ahead of Leroy Poulter, but Poulter's got the inside line for Goodyear. Who's going to be late on the brakes? Well, you can see it was definitely Poulter who was late on the brakes, but Taylor's still able to capitalize around the left-hand side, and he gets in front. Great bit of driving there from Anthony Taylor to take the lead of this race, and he's bringing Johan Fourie with him. Fourie looking around the outside. Not this time, says Leroy Poulter. He just keeps that door firmly shut, and he keeps the defensive line, making Johan Fourie go very wide out of Goodyear Bend towards the S's. It's now BMW Nissan, Castrol versus Sassel up front. And look at those 2 Nissans pushing hard. Gary Fermato's already under observation, so he's going to have to be very careful that he doesn't put too much pressure onto Johan Fourie, although that's exactly what he needs to do to try and keep his teammate in contention for this championship. Here comes Rachad Roots up the inside as well. Little touch there between Fourie and Poulter. Well, it's interesting stuff, and as always, car wars are plenty. Heading down the mine shaft now, you can see the leader just ahead of his teammate Johan Fourie, who on board with at this point in time. He's managed to get ahead of Leroy Poulter, but is Poulter going to try something up the inside as they go into the bowl? Let's keep an eye on the right-hand side of this car. It looks like he is pushing hard, and he might have got through. Yes, a little bit of nudging there, but Poulter forces his way through. He says, whatever you can give you, I can give back better. So here we go. You can see that the pits are just absolutely glued to their TV sets to watch what's going to happen here between the Castrol BMW and the Sasol AE Nissan of Anthony Taylor and Leroy Poulter. And look at that, Johan Fourie's dropped back. There must be a problem with that Castrol BMW. The second car has dropped way back as we see the rest of the field streaming through there. Chop Sapuka in picture at the moment. A little bit off the pace after his outing in Germany. Here comes the leader. It's Anthony Taylor. He's got to the front and now starting to pull a bit of a gap on Leroy Poulter. Poulter has to just hang on there. All he needs to do is finish up behind Anthony Taylor. He does not have to beat him. Taylor has to win the race, and something has to go wrong with Leroy Poulter's car. And the problems that have been happening so far have been with the BMWs. Here we see Johan Fourie way back compared to where he was a little bit earlier on the race as they go into Westbank. He's trying to go around the outside of Richard Rutz. Rutz is not going to make it easy for him. He pushes him wide. And Bosel 350Z has got a big turn of pace down this little straightaway that leads into the mine shaft and into the sweep. And here they go. It's Taylor. He's got a big, big gap now, and all he can do is just keep it on the black stuff and hope that something goes wrong with that man. Then we've got Gary Formato. Then it's Richard Rutz. Johan Fourie and Etienne van der Linde up the inside of Steve Morris. Oh, Morris gets a little touch on Etienne van der Linde, and Fourie has spun out as well. That's 3 BMWs out in the bowl. Can you believe it? All the Castrol BMWs and an Affinta Parts 1 out of this race. Big damage on the side of Steve Morris's car as they come into the kink. Looks like Etienne van der Linde is going to be able to get going again, but Johan Fourie just in the background, we saw him get going as well. But there's big problems with that Castrol car as he parks it on the side of the circuit. Here comes Class T, and it's Bose from Schinknecht. Werberski's in third place and Clint Weston just behind them. So it's GTI who's dominating here at Kyalami ahead of the Castrol Minis. But of course, that's the man that they need to try and beat in the championship. And he's sitting in 4th place, just looking to finish the race. And he'll be taking Class B's championship. Here's the Affinta Parts BMW of Steve Morris. Big damage on the front end of that car. And that's a big pity that the Castrol BMs are out.
We were coming out of the bowl. And I was having a really good race. I was in the fight with the guys. And Johan Fourie, just a little bit too much power. Just lost control of the car. Etienne van der Linde was right behind him, moved out of the way, and I was nowhere left to go. I ended up driving straight into the side of him.
So Fourie a little bit heavy on the loud pedal there, but that's going to cost him big time, and it's also going to possibly cost his teammate a championship opportunity. And up front, well, oh, problems here. Look at this. Is Anthony Taylor slowing down? Yes, he is. Taylor is slowing down in a big dramatic finish here to the Bridgestone Production Car Championship, and he's pulling to the side of the circuit. The current champion and the man looking to defend his title has pulled onto the side of the circuit, and that's going to hand the championship to the man who now leads the race, Leroy Poulter in the Sasol AE Nissan. Second place, it's Gary Formato, his teammate. He's not going to put too much pressure. And in third place, the Bosel 350Z there of Richard Rutz. Then we go back to the 2-engine Extreme Audis of Michael Stephen and Sean Watson-Smith. Then it's the Sonax Audi of Melville Priest and Marco Acuna there in the Tubular Tech Nissan as they head out of Westbank and down to the mine shaft. You can see the leaders already in the sweep and into the bowl. Leroy Poulter is going to be over the moon with this. He has had to work very, very hard to keep all his championship contenders at bay. He's taken the lead of the championship and has really dominated. Oh, speaking of domination, some late action between Etienne van der Linde and Chop Sapuka as they came through the sweep. Sapuka ends up in the dirt and van der Linde hangs on and keeps it on the black stuff, but only just. We nearly had 3 Castrol BMWs on the side of the circuit there. Etienne van der Linde, the lone one out there and hanging on for dear life, but nearly taken out as he comes across the line to take the South African Production Car Championship. And well done to Leroy Poulter. Second place going to Gary Formato, and third place will be Richard Rutz.
Heinz Bose became the Car Magazine Rookie of the Day with another Class T victory in his Volkswagen Golf GTI. Dave Compton scored his 16th Class B victory from 20 starts in the Toyota, and Robbie Beninka won Class C in his BTS Hydraulics Volkswagen City Golf. But the day's biggest celebration rightfully belonged to the victorious Nissan Brigade. And Sassel Nissan factory drivers Leroy Poulter plus Gary Formato had reason to don their victory laurels with pride. Clinching the 2006 title in the very last of this year's 20 races made Poulter's achievement all the more remarkable. We asked the new overall South African production car champion about that long final race.
That race, I just wanted it to end. You know, the first lap I got in front, I just hoped for the checkered flag. You know?
But during the race, there was absolute maximum respect between you and Anthony Taylor. You, 3/4 of a lap, you were side by side. Amazing stuff. Had you sort of spoken to each other?
No, not at all. I think, you know, Anthony, we've had a bit of touches this year, and I must say, one of the decent guys to drive with, and hard and fair, I think.
And when his engine broke and you saw that, what was going through your mind and to concentrate for the rest of the race?
I just wish the race could end, and I really slowed it down so mine wouldn't do the same thing.
Having had one hand on the trophy earlier in the day, second place man Anthony Taylor was surprisingly philosophical.
It was a very big disappointment, the second race. I mean, we really had the upper hand on the Nissans. But you know, you can't always be in the front and win them all. You know, things happen, and unfortunately, it was my chance that it happened. You know, we had going into the Goodyear sweep on the approach, going up the hill. I think the damper on the engine came undone, and it basically destroyed the engine. So that was me out of it. But look, we have to look forward to next year, and we'll definitely be back, and I think we'll be stronger than ever.
Third place in the championship behind Poulter and Taylor went to Dave Compton in his Class B Toyota, while Etienne van der Linde, Johan Fourie and Melville Priest rounded out the top 6 places. Trevor Tuck won the junior production car title for Fiat, followed by Volkswagen drivers Wayne Masters, Robbie Beninka and Rob Prius, plus Car Magazine Rookie of the Year Dani van Niekerk in his Ford Icon. Volkswagen emerged as the year's top manufacturer.